You have 68 wins. You cannot 69 Mina.
Hey everyone, it is the center of attention, Brittany Brooks, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Come on over, Simply. I'm being see, earlier I said something stupid to him, and now this is my receipt. Okay.
Sabu's just sabotaging you.
Yeah. He sure did.
Hijacking.
Yeah, he's taking over.
Hijacking is a better word. You're right.
Good luck.
What up, everybody? This is the People's Babushka, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Shout out to Simply Reliable Studios making their Symphony debut, sponsoring this match and the entire Dragon Kai demonstration.
What's up, everybody? It is the hottest flame, the realest Hogan, the bionic baddie, Kiera Hogan, period, and you are watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Noah. I believe in Datula. The Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man.
We just want to say thank you to Simply Reliable Studios for voting us as Tag Team of the Year.
Of course.
Because you know what they say, right? If you can't swim, you're bound to drown.
Tonight, she is sponsored by Simply Reliable Studios from Orlando, Florida. She is everybody's favorite BFF, Izzy Marino.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the weekly moderated insanity known as the Shenanigans here across the Simply Reliable Studios brand of channels. It is I, your moderator extraordinaire, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, back in the host seat, joined by the Island of Misfit Toys, the Simple Man Noah Foster.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to the Simply Reliable Studios. You know what this is? Friends, some friends, of course, that's for favorite fall-face professional wrestling. Damn it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the panel. First and foremost, my partner in both the Fed and AEW. We call the rest of the light and probably upset stomach mindset for some other stuff tonight. It is, of course, Mr. Reliable, Simply Reliable, in true original form, Walter Cruz.
Ronda won in literally 17 fucking seconds. She tackled Gina. Gina fought a little bit. She turned to the side, got that armbar, and she tapped. Literally 17 seconds in the first round.
Well, at least I know I can last longer than Gina Carano. We've got one half of the Canadian connection and a man who just got done doing some hockey coverage with the Stat Boy. Nick is here. What is up, sir?
Why were you guys talking about boobies for 45 minutes?
Theme of the week, today's.
She's yours, she's mine, she's our Canadian friend, Ash. That's actually elegant and not fake. Hello, Ash, how are you?
Enough is enough. I've had it with these motherfucking AEW wrestlers winning my motherfucking New Japan title.
Make sure you tune in every week because you never know who's going to drop in to join the Shenanigans. We do have the man who started it all. Jeff Meacham is with us.
I'm impressed with what's going on at the JCW. I'm happy for Russo. I'm happy for Vito. I am a viewer, again, when I can get home and sit my ass down for a half hour, whatever it is, and enjoy that shit.
Popping out before midnight virtually on this app. It is my cohort as fellow Dingbird and crazy wrestling watching aficionado, Charles Schultz, who will also be joining me tonight in the fray as I welcome you into the Shenanigans once again at the end of this fine Saturday.
I just want to keep seeing Mr. Guana show up every single time and just Polyaska. I'm still agreeing with JJ. We still need that freaking multi-person puppet match.
A puppet is not a competitor!
Next out, the competitors if you go to the right company.
Teleporting in via the morphing grid, our very own Pink Ranger is here.
everybody. You know, I know the firing of Scott Moore was controversial, but I feel like he needed to go in order for TNA to grow. Don't get me wrong, we had some good stuff under Scott Moore, but the company was just stagnant. And you know, look how much they've grown.
If this is what it took for her to acknowledge some of my NXT talent, then I'm here for it. Because we know she doesn't work Tuesdays. So the fact that she watches Thursdays and is still getting exposed to my talent, like, hey, something happened, right? She told me the other night that Trick and A was some of the best stuff in TNA.
Yeah, I actually really did like Trick and A.
I was completely shocked and blown away to discover it was Chad Gable under that mask. I had no idea. I would have never guessed it. I never saw it coming. This was just mind-numbing. This was like the reveal that Juan Cena was John Cena. I never in a million years would have guessed that Chad Gable was going to have that.
Is Fleet ever going to lose that title?
Well, you know, everyone's be a dickhead, but how strong of a dickhead are you is the real question. I have a pretty strong dick.
I'll take your report.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully no one else heard that.
Cool.
I'm not sure how appropriate that last joke was for a Sunday after a Sunday afternoon, but it is what it is here. What is going on, everybody, and welcome once again to the weekly insanity known as the Shenanigans.
Yeah.
It is I, the moderator extraordinaire, the birthday boy, the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, joined by my panel for the day, and I know we will be having more people tapping in here shortly. I know the Simple Man Noah Foster will be here. I know the Canadian King of Food will be here, Nick. Ash has to work. Unfortunately, she got called in. Such is life of a management personnel. So, but let's go around the horn real quick. Walter, how you doing today, good sir?
He's still good. He's
You're
not muted.
muted.
He can't believe how good he is. He's
exactly. I'm all right. How you doing as the birthday boy is the real question, but I'm hanging in there.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know, I mean, it's almost one full day into my 50s now because, you know, as my mom says and likes to remind me of, because mothers do that thing, born at 12:45 p.m. on the 22nd. So at 12:45, you know, considering I'm West Coast, I will have completed one full day as 50. So we'll be on the air for that. But yeah, I'm doing good, man. Honestly, it doesn't feel any different than 49, 48, 45, 40. I'm sure Dave can attest to that. Once you hit a certain age, it all just blends together. You know, people want to talk about, oh, well, physically, you know, your back, your knees. Like, shit, I've had those issues since my 30s after 10 years of backyard wrestling.
Exactly.
You know, so it's like I've been dealing with that for at least 15 years, if not closer to 20 years.
I had that in my 20s because of wrestling. Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I see Pop in the chat. Always good to see my dad chiming in. Thank you, Ash, for the happy belated birthday greetings. And, you know, I'm not expecting anything, but I figured I'd throw it out there. There are QR codes on the screen for PayPal and Zelle. If anybody wants to donate to the birthday shenanigans, scan the QR code, send a donation. You know, no, don't super chat today because even if I hit $100, I'm not going to see that for a minute. So
yeah,
if you want to donate now, scan the QR codes, make a donation.
Do it now.
To the birthday festivities. Mr. Meacham, you're not always around as much as you'd like to be. The Mauska Mafia keeps you locked up in the Toontown jail a little bit more often these days. It's nice to see that you're getting a conjugal visit. You're getting a weekend pass.
Right? Jesus.
How are we doing this afternoon before you have to report at about 2:45, 3 o'clock? If memory serves what you message, you hard out at 2:45.
Hard out, which means 2 hours after you complete that first day, I got to be out of here. So at 12:45, do you actually qualify for Lily Bird specials, or is that like 5 more years?
5 more years.
That's 5 more years. That's 55.
55. Okay. Hell, you know
But
what?
you know what?
You never have to be a kid, so it's okay.
That might be when Renegade's Reviews comes back too, because then I'll be able to get senior discounts at the theaters.
Okay, so I got 5 good years of me to the movies before I get before you come back. Okay, good to know.
Well, JJ qualifies for AARP at 50, though. So
there we
you can
go.
qualify for.
Dude, ARP is no joke. They got a solid plan, man. I'm here for that shit for JJ.
Okay. Music. Let's just have one person produce, Walter. I appreciate the happy birthday. Hopefully that was non-copyrighted. But
Happy birthday is not copyrighted, period.
Let's just have one person run the board. There are more than enough graphics, more than enough videos, more than enough sound bites in here. And he just popped in. We don't need him taking 10 minutes off right as he comes into the screen. So
You won't take 10 minutes off for happy birthday.
I would like to hope that on my birthday, Noah, you will not dip until it's time for you to go to do lockdown. For my birthday show, put the phone back. We're not doing nighttime shenanigans. You don't have to go to church in the morning. You're fresh from church.
That's right. That's fair.
Let's allow us to engage in some good conversation and shenanigans until you have to dip to do lockdown.
Well, considering tonight is mid and I can't wait next weekend to go all freaking in, fine, I will allow you that freaking privilege of my time. And that being said, happy birthday, JJ. But I got hot over face roast beef to eat. So that being said, I'm out off screen.
That's fair enough. At least until you're done eating, you know.
Fair enough. I'll do that.
So what I'll do in the meantime is I'll move you down and I'll move Charles over for the QR code there. But Noah, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
You always have to try to do something like that. Like I said, same stuff, different day, but that's okay. I'm blessed to be alive every day, whether I work 9 to 5, which will happen tomorrow. Overall, though, I'm feeling all right. It's a great day. It's Sunday, the day of rest, the day to always remind yourself why you're grateful to be here in this life. And overall, it's a special occasion, as you said. So in all seriousness, happy birthday, JJ. Cheers and God bless you.
Thank you. And Datilla here wishing a happy belated birthday.
Oh, I like that. It's cute.
A Power Ranger birthday.
That's right.
Moving on to the man in the middle, the only man on the panel who is actually older than me. Two-time grandpa.
Two-time.
How are we doing today, Dave?
I'm doing good. Again, happy birthday, JJ. As you enter your 50s, I'm coming to near the end of my 50s. And as you say, years all flow together at this point. I'll tell you a fun story about at work when I turned 50. My manager, who I had known for years, worked in another department with, so the guys around me didn't know I knew her prior to our department we were in. She decorated my desk with all these in black balloons with cards with this old man on the front that was balding and saying and then inside she said, "Welcome to the 50s Club."
Mm-hmm.
I said to the guy next to me, I said, "I'm going to go up there and ask her how many years she's been in that club." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "Yeah, I will." I did. He said, "I can't believe you did that." I said, "I got to admit, I've known her for years. I got away with it." But,
say, very careful.
I said, "But when you can talk to your boss that way, then you know you're in good shape."
That's true. That's true. Unfortunately, I don't think I've had a boss I can talk to that way, but that's neither here nor there.
And unfortunately,
yes,
I don't know what good shape is.
Most of us on the panel don't know what good shape is. That's a whole
No,
other
I don't. But I am a two-time grandpa. Thank you so much for saying that. In fact, Oliver tomorrow will be a week old. September 12th, me and my girlfriend Anna are going to visit, and I'm going to get to see my grandchildren live and up front. My other grandson Parker, is about a little over 2.5. So it's a joyous time. As Noah said, no matter what, you're blessed in this world. There's always someone who has it worse than you, and you don't take anything for granted. So I appreciate you guys having me on again, and we'll have some good conversation on your birthday show.
Absolutely, man. We enjoy having you. We enjoy having all the extended family of the No DQ Galaxy. Again, shout out to Bossman Rift for allowing us to broadcast on his channel, for bringing us together through the No DQ review. One man, though, who was not brought together through the No DQ review, he was just brought into our fold via participating in the chat room, being active enough that, kind of like we do with the manual sometimes in Arlene, we were in a pinch one night, needed a panelist. He was around. He was like, fuck it. Send me the link. I'll pop in. He came out of the sewer for the first time and been popping up and down every now and again since then. The only man who proclaims himself a member of Chase University like myself, Charles Schultz, is here, the creator of the Peanut Stain. How are we doing, Charles?
Oh, I'm doing good. Also, happy birthday to JJ.
Thank you.
I wish you got that in there, but I'm doing great today.
Good. I almost didn't know if you would join us with it being so early. Usually you tend to join stuff that's a little bit later in the day. So
Enough going on.
Appreciate you being here. So where do we begin is the epic question. I was thinking about things, and traditionally, when you're having a birthday show, you want to keep things kind of lighthearted, sort of fun. But I've been working, driving, listening to WWE radio as I do during the day when I don't have a passenger, hearing some of the conversations that the different hosts have, whether it's Dave and Bully, Dave and Nick, Tommy and Rick, or whoever. And I heard them discuss a few different things, and I decided to kind of lump everything into one conversation. Pros and cons of professional wrestling in 2026. Now, you listen to these old timers tell their stories, and one of the things that they touched on and talked about was like a tour bus, how certain stars get their own tour bus. Well, there's pros and cons that come with this. You've got more space, which allows longevity in your career, which allows better eating after a meal, because a lot of times all that's open is crap food, and trying to get a healthy meal after a show is a little bit harder. It allows for family to be there on these tour buses. So you're technically spending time away from home, but your family is with you. But it also comes with isolation from the boys. You don't have to get dressed in the locker room. You've got your own private space. So now you're losing out on the bonding, the fraternity that is professional wrestling in the locker room. Same thing when the shows are over and driving from town to town. A lot of education came in those car rides. The rookies riding with the legends, driving the legends, picking the brains of the legends of the business. You don't get that if you're on your own tour bus. Pros and cons, like the lack of live events. You're not out there 300 days a year anymore, destroying your body. Wrestlers having short lifespans. but you're also losing the ability to get some of these younger talents reps. You're losing the ability to get some of these talents that aren't getting TV time because there's not enough TV time to let them get an opportunity to get over in front of a live crowd. You know, pros and cons like moves, just moves in general. You think back to the 80s and a DDT was a finisher. Now it's a transitional move. Then you evolve into the 90s and a super kick was a finisher. Now you see matches where people hit 10, 15, 20 super kicks in a match, can't put anybody away. Then you evolve into the 2000s and the Canadian Destroyer was a finisher. Now Penta can barely put people away with his Destroyer. You know, and the moves have to get more and more elaborate, more and more crazy, more and more jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring in order to try to woo the crowd and be devastating enough to put somebody away. Just all these little things. And then, of course, there's social media, you know, which is something we've talked about before. The greatest thing and the worst thing to come into the world of professional wrestling, because social media allows fans this voice to say what they want to say while at the same time remaining anonymous, because they don't have to worry about getting punched in the face for their opinion. You know, and people harassing wrestlers, stalking wrestlers. Everybody with the keyboard thinks that they're a script writer or a journalist. And like, we all know that I loved a fantasy book around here, but I also don't take myself that seriously when it comes to some of these things. So I've just been thinking about all these different pieces that kind of intertwine themselves, the pros and cons of pro wrestling these days. And I want to go around the room and kind of get everybody's thoughts on this, because I think this is a very interesting, engaging conversation, because we've all got different ages in here, different lengths of time watching product, different product that we engage in and follow on a consistent basis. So as the old man in the room, Dave, I'm going to come to you first. You've been around longer, watched more than most everybody else here. What are your thoughts on this?
Boy, you had a tough thing and you came to me first. Well, you mentioned a couple of great points, and I think it's a pro and a con at the same time as the house shows. I think we need more house shows for the youngsters, obviously, definitely, because we see too many missed moves, and I think they need repetition if they're not being shown on TV. The only thing is with that is if you do more house shows, you really have to center it around the younger people that need the work. Now, will they draw crowds? That's the question right there, because will WWE do a show that's not going to draw as many crowds, or do you have to at least have one or two main eventers at least there? But they definitely need more repetition. They do some of these house shows like when they go overseas, and recently they did some around SummerSlam. But I think definitely the con is we need more of those. But the pro to that effect, and you mentioned it, you can't have these guys working 300 nights a year anymore. You just can't, because it's gonna kill them. And that's why I think if they do more house shows and incorporate all the younger guys and ladies that are on the main roster, and then sprinkle in veterans here and there, not make Cody Rhodes do all the house shows that they do, but do other people, like center it around maybe Cody one for a few shows, Hunk around a few shows, Randy maybe, We know Roman probably won't because he has a contract that probably is going to make sure he doesn't have to do any. But who knows? That definitely is a pro and a con right there. The con is another con is I think the stories are not, and we talk about this all the time. The writers are outdated. We got outdated writers. We talk about it a lot about. I think we need new, fresh blood. Like on WWE, Michael Hayes and Bruce Pitcher have to go. They're it's past their time. I mean, Michael Hayes was wrestling when I was a kid. And Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love, that was when I was in my preteens. I mean, and that's going back a lot of years. I think we need new blood in there. AEW has a lot of great young stars, and they position them a little bit better, other than having maybe Moxley around too much. I think he needs a break at times, but I think they don't have Tony won't get the writers they need either. Because they have great wrestling matches. No doubt about that. Great wrestling matches. But you can't have jobbers going 20 minutes with your top stars every time either. And they need some more storyline to mix in with it. It's like WWE has too much comedy and story, not enough wrestling. AEW's the other way, has too much wrestling. We haven't come to a good medium yet with everything. And I think we're all looking for both companies to get better to build each other up. Because again, competition brings greatness. Where we like when we had the WCW and the Monday Night Wars with WWE, we'll never see anything like that again. And that's where I come in old school. And you want to see that again, but also there's a lot of things that will deteriorate from that too, because social media is around where it wasn't back then as much. And you could hide stories, and nothing could come up and that spoils it. There's spoilers. I think another pro is though. I think the athletes are better. I think we see different moves. I mean, back when in my day, in the beginning when I first started watching wrestling, you talked about DDT's finishers. I saw him back in the AWA in the late 70s, early 80s, where a body slam would win a match. So I think they've evolved in that where we see some of the greatest moves in wrestlers, and I'll still go back to it because I think he retired too soon. But it was his decision as AJ Styles. He was still at the top of his game. And who else has three holds that could be finishers? I mean, The Undertaker had 2, but AJ legitimately had 3 finishing holds. He could throw it at any time. And he did not miss. I mean, back in his TNA days, and I watched TNA a little bit back in the day when he was there and a youngster, and some of those shows back when he started and Samoa Joe were amazing. I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. But those are some of my pros and cons. I won't go on much longer. I want the other guys to chime in too.
Thank you for that, Dave. I did see in the private chat Jeff had a point he wanted to make regarding AJ, so we'll go to Jeff. He can make that point and then give his thoughts on the topic.
Might as well. We can go by age. I'm the next one down from you and Dave, so it's all good. First of all, let me just say I am still supporting the needy causes in the world. With his box office being so down, I am supporting Disney legend Dwayne Johnson today, drinking the Zoa, because he's got to make money somehow. He's only being a country music star. He's only acting. He's only on the board of directors. So we got to make sure he's got some money flowing in all the time, right? But AJ, we're talking about the age of the room. AJ Styles' son is making his on-screen debut at TNA tonight. Fuck all that getting old. Okay. AJ Styles' son is on a TNA pay-per-view tonight. Fuck that. I am not okay with that at all. Oh my God.
As long as he comes out to IM.
I think okay, so there's a pro and con right there. The pro of it is us TNA dorks are gonna pop for it. Bad. Like we're gonna have a moment. We're gonna need to go off screen for that kind of moment. The con is AJ didn't want to hear that damn theme no more. Imagine getting his poor kid saddled with it. You know what I mean? So it's, there's good and bad there. You mentioned the buses. That's a definite pro for me, because so many people that I've known in the business that have been around since the days before the buses regret not having the buses when they could have. You talk about guys like Paul White, who, very much had the Andre curse of trying to fly commercially and just was not happening. You can't. You're a little giant. You can't fit a 7'4", 7'2" frame into even a first class seat on a flight. You got to fly on the Vince jet at that point. But to have a bus is, I think, so much more beneficial for guys like that. The bonding with the boys that happens in the cars, depending on which podcast you listen to, it may or may not be okay that those days are gone, because some of these bonding stories in these cars, you get the freaking, the BSK in one car, and you get, the APA and in the other car, or the Steiners or whatever, and they're throwing shit at each other on the road and just being general dipshits. It's like, okay, maybe it's good they're not on the highways between shows. Especially those fans trying to either navigate through it or stupidly be part of it.
But Jeff, we know the highway don't care.
Well, yeah. Ask,
and Mama knows the highway by heart.
Jesus Christ. Shout out to, Tim McGraw and Taylor Swift. I won't shout Keith Urban because he cheated on Nicole Kidman, so he's an idiot by default. So there you go. I'm just throwing that out there.
And Hal Ketchum is the other reference.
Hal Ketchum is the other reference, yes. I know. I just like Highway Don't Care. I love that the Highway Don't Care never plays on the Sirius XM channel, The Highway. Just throwing that out there to Sirius XM. I play that song on that channel once in a while. That's good cross branding right there. But maybe that's just me. What the hell are we talking about? Senior moment. Oh yeah, pros and cons. Yeah, I really get up in my own shit about the con of finishers and signatures becoming just everyday moves. Like, that really bothers me, and it shouldn't. It's stupid. I'm a fan. I'm not in the business. I don't wrestle in the ring. It shouldn't bug me, but it does. When I started watching, the DDT was such a lethal finisher that Rick Martel blinded Jake Roberts to take him out of the industry. You know what I mean? Like, the DDT was like Arn Anderson, who was probably the best technical all-around performer to never be a world champion, used the DDT for a while. I'll never forget when he turned on Dustin Rhodes in '94 and dropped the Natural with the DDT at Bash at the Beach against the Stud Stable. I mean, it was just oh my God. And it's like, well, okay, yeah, it makes sense. It's Arn Anderson. He wanted the old Arn Anderson. He got him. And now it's just commonplace. And you mentioned the super kicks. Ain't no party like a super kick party, and that's why it's so lame. But that's just me.
See, just to counterpoint you here real quick, I don't think it's as much the fact that signatures and finishers don't finish matches to me anymore, because really that started in the independents.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we saw it a lot in PWG, which is why it's done a lot in AEW, because who were partial owners of PWG at one point?
Yeah,
who are EVPs of AEW?
So,
But I think what bothers me is that if a stunner isn't finishing people, if a destroyer, which literally you are flipping someone over and driving them neck first into the mat.
Yeah.
If these moves aren't putting people away, what are you going to have to do to finish someone? And what is the risk to your adversary when you're supposed to be protecting them?
Yes, exactly.
That's more so where it is for me. And Safet here bringing up the Blue Thunder Bomb. We all know Blue Thunder Bombs do not win matches. There was a Blue Thunder Bomb yesterday. Referee Chris Massey did not even go down for a 3 count because he knows Blue Thunder Bombs don't win matches.
Shut the fuck up, JJ.
I mentioned that in the commentary. I said, look, they didn't even go for the cover.
Nope.
Well, pile drivers don't finish whole matches either in AEW. They
Chris
get pile driven all
Massey-
the time.
Chris Massey will attest a well-played theme song will finish somebody before a Blue Thunder Bomb, by God. But you know, that's just what I'm saying, Chris. Shout out to Chris Massey. We love Chris Massey. Crazy fool. But the long lost Jackson brother, if you know, you know, folks. But I digress. But yeah, you're right on that. It's you know, JJ, you and I were fans and diehards watching TNA and popped so bad when PD Williams came into PWG. We're like, oh my God, we're gonna see it in person. Oh my God, and then he didn't do it the first show, motherfucker. He didn't do it till a couple shows in because he sucks, fucking PD.
He did it on night 2, which you were at
Yeah.
the Hall of Fame and I wasn't there for.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like, damn you, PD. Like
Yeah,
we
fuck
were
you,
jokes
PD,
in
for
night
that.
one. Like, yeah, big old fuck
My
you.
brother from a Canadian mother, but that's a whole other story.
Yes, we love PD. And dude, he's one of those guys that if ever there should have been an agent for WWE after his career was over, it's PD Williams, man. I'm so glad he still has a job. But yeah, his move was devastating 20 years ago. And now it's still a finisher for guys like Penta, but it is still used way too much. And the risk on that, like you said, it's a literal pile driver. The pile driver was banned for a long time in wrestling, especially in WWE. You know, but the destroyer, the I forgot Adam called it Panama Sunrise. Is that what Adam Cole used to call it? Okay.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's just as lethal in 2026 as it was in 2005, 2006. But nobody's finished by it except on the rare occasion. So how high does the risk go, and what is the reward if your opponent, your in-ring partner, your friend ends up going to the hospital because of it? Not happy. It's really not. And I definitely think that's a byproduct of the upping the ante on high risk in wrestling. You know, the endless debate between the Meltzer marks and the diehard, you know, fans, you know, the fans of the sports entertainment part of it, you know, which is more important. You've got more people in wrestling now saying, without a story, you've got nothing. Becky Lynch just said it. It wasn't just her saying it either. It was everybody, but Becky Lynch in particular said it.
ESPN said it. Bleacher Report said it. Sports
right.
Illustrated said it. NoDQ.com said it.
That's right. And Becky Lynch knows NoDQ.com said it because she acknowledged it. So, damn it. But I think the biggest pro con for me is the sacrificing of the storytelling in order to placate the move marks. That really is for me the biggest difference between when I started watching and as I watch now. When I started watching, it was all about the presentation. You know, the biggest fandom I had was for a guy that had less than 5 moves of doom back in 1990. Unless you watch him wrestle in Japan, then Hulk Hogan was the greatest wrestler of all time. You know, but now if you can't do these, you know, these 5-6 star move sets, then today's fan seems almost jaded by it, and I find that very disappointing. Anyway, yeah, just the fact that one of the greatest matches of all time really didn't have a long dramatic story behind it, but the way they did the match was the story. Their interaction was the story. AJ, Daniels, and Joe. One of the best matches I've ever seen, live, in person, on TV, whatever. And the only story was, who's the best wrestler in this company? And that's all we needed.
No, 100%. And, you know, again, it kind of goes to the smart marks because TNA in 05 was the AEW of 2021, 2022, where if you were watching TNA, you knew who these people were. So if you were watching Unbreakable in 05, you knew the history these 3 men had with each other separately.
Yes.
which is why they didn't need to tell a story.
No.
You knew the story of Daniels and Joe going back to Ultimate Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
When Joe was a beach blonde and Daniels still had like a buzz cut.
Yeah.
He hadn't gotten bald yet. You knew the story of Daniels and AJ through their time in TNA. Joe was a fresh face on the TNA roster, so you didn't really know if there was anything with him and AJ. There had been because of Gorilla and some other indies, but Daniels was kind of the centerpiece of it all because he had the history with Joe, he had the history of AJ, and that's kind of what brought everything together. So you didn't need a long, drawn out 2.5 year Cody's gonna finish his story to captivate you and bring you in. All you needed was a month and a half with a couple of promos talking about what we've done to each other before and what I'm gonna do to you when I get you in that ring again.
And just think about it, Jay. AJ and Daniels were able to carry matches for an hour or more, and they proved they could do that in front of what, a couple hundred people, squeezed into a little Jewish community center in May of 2005.
Yeah, in a gym in a Jewish community center gymnasium nicknamed the Sweat Box for reasons.
And on a Friday night in May of 2005, it sure as fuck was a sweatbox.
Yeah. On a Friday the 13th, no less.
Jason takes PWG, baby. Shout out to Punk, by the way, with the Jason style goalie mask the other night. That shit was great. But
Well, Walter, we're going to come to you. Hopefully by the time you're done, Noah will be back on screen. If not, then we'll go to Charles. But Walter, what is your take, good sir, on these topics?
A lot of us seem to be mentioning the same one, so I'll just mention one con and not take too long. But I think one of the biggest cons in 2026 is the use of celebrity involvements in wrestling, because I think it's too reliant. Before, it was the celebrity was like a prize to bring, like 95 Rumble, you get Pamela Anderson to walk you out on WrestleMania, to bring more eyes on WrestleMania, because they wanted to bring the non-casual fan or the casual fans or people that weren't interested in wrestling to put their eyes on their product because they're celebrity involvements. They were special guest timekeepers. They were ring announcers. Muhammad Ali was a ref. Something that didn't take away from talent and other spots of other talents. Right now, I feel like there's way too much celebrity involvements that are taken away from spots from wrestlers that are just sitting in catering, aren't being treated right, that are given 2 seconds. People like Julia that are given 2 seconds, they have to job out to people. You got Blake Monroe, who barely can make a debut. You're using her for 2 seconds. Yet Little Yachty is getting a spot to last 5 minutes against Baron up against Baron Corbin. And if he wins, Trick Williams gets a shot. And I feel like the celebrity involvement takes away from it, from other people's talent. And they're talented as a rapper, as an actor, and who they are. Now, kudos to those who take it serious and go training and learn the craft and everything and go on, like Bad Bunny and Jelly Roll and stuff. But still, you're only getting the opportunity because of who you already are. These other wrestlers came, some of them, Nepo babies, and they came from other generations. But some of them worked their ass off, paid to go to wrestling school, came up from absolutely nothing, got a chance, and that's why we're fans of them, and that's why they're in the ring wrestling. These out of nowhere celebrities that just, oh, here's another paycheck, here's another way to make money, is something I like. I get in the crowd, like if they're in the crowd and you show them on camera and it's like, hey, look, my favorite football player also likes wrestling, maybe I should get into wrestling. That I'm okay with. But when you keep putting them in the ring and they're taking time from other professional wrestlers who this is their craft that they focused on, it's irking me. In 2026, it is way too dependent on it. I get the outreach of wrestling. I get that they're outreaching to different people and getting crowds, but it is really, really irking me that they just involve them for no reason. Like A little while ago, Jon Stewart. What the was the point of him just hitting John Cena in the nuts just for no reason? What was the point of that? I get the guest hosts and Raw. Some of them were horrible. You could tell they weren't. They were there for a paycheck, and you could tell that they knew nothing about wrestling, just the way they hosted Raw. So it's like too much celebrity involvement. Focus on who you have in the locker room and who you're not using on TV and showcase them. Stop trying to showcase these celebrities.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that one, honestly, because for as long as I've been a part of wrestling and watching wrestling, celebrities have been a part of it. You know, and even going back further, I mean, Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. You know, so that's something that really didn't cross my mind. Now, does Fort Worth ever cross your mind? That's another story. But celebrities in wrestling was not something that crossed my mind. I love that I'm popping Jeff because he's getting every single one of these references I'm dropping. But that's a very good point because I do feel like in the last 5 years, we'll say ever since I came back to wrestling during the pandemic era, they've really kind of been reliant on this. You know, you think about Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn. You think about Pat McAfee. You know, like you mentioned, Lil Yachty is getting a match at Saturday night's main event. How many people are being left off of Saturday night's main event so Lil Yachty can fight 5 minutes to try to get Trick a title match? Which, what does that do to Baron Corbin? Because you're almost guaranteed Yachty is going to win so that you can set up the rematch for Trick. And Corbin just came back, is setting himself up as this badass, almost reminiscent of the Lone Wolf back in the day, won the title virtually immediately, and you're going to make him job to Lil Yachty. Not even one of the good Lils. Not Lil Wayne, Lil Kim, Lil C's, Lil Zane, Lil Bow Wow. No, Lil Yachty. Yes, Dave, I see your hand. Go ahead.
Does he have to win, or is it that he just lasts the 5 minutes?
He has to survive 5 minutes. It's a 5 minute.
Yeah, and you know that is really that is stupid. Only because I think Trick should get another shot, only because of how Baron won the last 2 matches. That should be the reason right there. And they should just do it as a no DQ since he keeps using the title belt. They don't need to involve Little Yachty in a 5 minute squash, or him running around the ring for 5 minutes just to last the 5 minutes. That is ridiculous.
Julia can't even last 5 minutes against a Blake Monroe because she gets attacked. Julia can't last 5 minutes against Nia Jax. But you're gonna say Little Yachty has to survive 5 minutes against Baron Corbin?
Well, he's going to run around, and Trick will probably be out there or something, do something. You know how the shenanigans, no pun intended, happen with WWE, obviously.
Well, I'm wondering why the belt thing is such a big deal. It's got a bunch of fur on it. Shouldn't it be okay where it's not hurting anybody? There's padding there. It shouldn't hurt for a disqualification. I don't know. Maybe it's just me on a Sunday thing.
Interesting. Baron didn't come out with the belt Friday. Maybe
he said
they're taking the fur off. It's getting a haircut or some crap.
Yeah, he said it was getting a haircut, which because we all thought, okay, the fur's staying on the belt, Trick's going to get it back. But now if he shaves it, what does that mean? I really thought Trick was going to be moving to the main event picture, and that's why they had him lose it. I mean, that would have been the only reason Baron beats him. But who knows?
I love how they mention it's going to get a haircut. They don't show it. They probably get peed on their ass if they did actually show it on TV. That's why. No! Don't abuse the belt. Fucking belt, man. Relax.
Damn it, you guys.
Shenanigans, baby.
All right, Charles, go ahead, good sir.
Oh, great. Here we go. Right on me. All right. I agree with the pros and cons, pretty much what everyone is saying. Now, admit, I did start watching full wrestling in 2004, so. I used to. Only until when I start watching stuff, seeing about all the cons, basically, which I agree with. My brain's all over the place. But,
No
yeah.
worries.
Yeah. I agree with all the pros and everybody's saying. And also, did they really announce Lil Yachty versus Baron Corbin?
They did.
Okay. Yep.
They gave
All
it its
right.
own graphic for the Sunday night main event. It's got its own graphic and everything. It is official, as Pierce would say.
Yeah, and Trick is the small figure behind Little Yachty too. They
That
mentioned.
popped me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, oh man, that's why this shit's on Peacock on NBC. I'm just.
Oh gosh.
Just throwing it out there.
Wow. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Move on now before I go into a tangent.
No, please go into a tangent. Tangents equal ratings.
Tangent.
Okay.
I'm sitting here multitasking. I'm sure you guys saw me with my head down. I usually don't disrespect and do that, but I have been communicating via message to some people that we will be discussing during the shills. So, please, by all means, rant, because it gives opportunity for them to get back to me.
There you go. You know what? That works. What the hell has happened here with Trick Williams? What the hell? Ever since the fact that he brought up Corbin's going to shave the thing. Yeah, I don't believe that. I just don't. I question the moment ever since Corbin kept the title the same. Like, oh, that belt's going back to Trick. I was like, why did they belt off it then? If that belt was just going to stay on Trick the whole time. But again, considering the bullshit of what has with Carmelo Hayes right now is still more pissing me off. Ugh.
Yeah, to your point, I don't think they're going to shave the title. I think they'll just give Corbin a new title without the fur. That way they can put the fur one in the little case so that when they do the Fanatics Fests, the WrestleMania accesses, and those type of things, and you look at all the title belts over the years, the fur embezzled U.S. title will be one of the ones in the cases there.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still, ugh. Ridiculous. Not for right now. I'm good for now.
Okay. Well, Walter's son brings up a good con in the chat, and it's honestly what made me walk away from wrestling in 2014. Same people in the main event all the time. No new faces, especially in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I will say AEW is definitely better about that. However, when it comes to certain stars, they have become too reliant on certain names as well. But definitely WWE is the more guilty party when it comes to this. All right, we have saved you for last, good sir. The simple man, Noah. What have you got to say about this?
What? Where do you want me to even begin? You already know where our stance is on most of this stuff. I feel like we're rehashing previous conversations. Okay, let's see. What do I chastise for? I'm not going to do it. I'm too freaking tired. Okay, pros and cons. Let me see. Where do I begin in my aspect as a lifelong fan of professional wrestling? First off, I hear the word story
Damn
again.
it.
First off,
Damn
I
it.
hear the word story again. You're going to force me to go into drinking. Well, I'll drink myself into intoxication when it comes to the aspect that everything needs a fucking story and we're overrated than some cheap-ass, pissant B-level reality show when you can't consider two people going the ring bell to bell to prove who the better person is in the highest quality of degree when it fucking matters. Secondly, if you only rely on freaking big-name merit as big as freaking Mike Tyson and Jake Paul with an underwoman performance and under freaking 5 minutes just because you're that damn important to pop culture versus trying to push forward the future of somebody that actually worked their way in this business, you can fuck off. Third, if all you're going to do is try and push someone to your advantage for a marketing ploy, then actually take a chance on somebody for their actual merit and talent. You could also leave me alone as far as my freaking investment goes in your fucking product. When it comes to the wrestling scene today, there's a reason why I only watch Stardom, AEW, ROH, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Eve. Maple Leaf Pro is my new Thursday night special. You know who runs that? Scott D'Amore. What the fuck is TNA anymore besides Encore? Let's rehash the same 25 damn people on the fucking roster. And the only difference is you play them in a damn steel cage. How about you come up with something new and original? How about you actually try and put forward some youth in your fucking main level scenes? How about you fucking quit relying on the 40-year-old partying up freaking pre-senior retirement party in the damn biggest company on the planet? How's that for some hot shit? All right, now let me go ahead and try and cool down. The pros, though, I will say is I love the fact that there is so much variety in the freaking wrestling business, considering how much youth, how much potential there actually is in those that do dream of having the biggest aspect of being the next big adventure in the ring. We see the likes of Kyle Fletcher and Kevin Knight, for example, in AEW as key exceptions, the growth and evolution of Sky Blue and Julia Hart, and the depth of the women's roster in AEW across all scenes really being pushed forward as a potential. It is a great thing to see right now where women's professional wrestling is, despite the fact it's still extremely muddled on SmackDown, and those names you mentioned already boil my blood considering what they used to be. Then again, professional wrestling is a whole different definition in the WWE. Don't get me started on that shit. So, yeah, if all I hear is that everything needs a story and all you're looking for is a Telemundo or a freaking overrated Fast and Furious remake in your damn wrestling ring without a kiss scene by some overrated celebrity, get out of here, all right? Bryan Danielson once said best, the story is two people going inside the ring bell to bell to prove who the better person is when it makes sense. You're freaking almost contradictory yourself when you talk about Unbreakable Triple Threat when it came to the better rest of those three, considering those that knew those three men's history versus some overrated VAR in and out promo, same damn cut shit, different city, freaking disqualification wrap-ups, pick your poison on a week-by-week basis. So yeah, I think the fact of the matter is that too many people look back on what the wrestling business was and what the wrestling business was. It wasn't as in depth to possibility versus the variety we have today with the talent that we are seeing. But again, the pro is the fact there is so much talent. It's a matter now if you actually try to exploit it for what it's worth, especially in the Fed when you don't have somebody over 40 fucking years old constantly ruining the main event scene because they're freaking Nepo baby, overrated, polarizing, Samoan blessed, freaking dadgum overrated idiots. But anyway, that's just a few of my takes. And I could go deeper, but that's not about what this forum is. But bottom line, there's so much variety in the talent, but there's a lack in exploiting it, especially in the Fed. That's one of the biggest cons. But the pro is there is still hope for the future, just very little in places versus others. I'm still holding out for TNA. I'm TNA faithful. I see the best evolution in the AEW roster. I love Ring of Honor. And I still have my foundations in Stardom, Pro Wrestling, even New Japan to keep me going. It's amazing how much New Japan Pro Wrestling this year alone has really evolved with the young, youthful talent, finding their own identity, not only in the character they bring, but how they wrestle in the ring. Uya Mara and Rike Oiwa are two prime examples of that. Maybe if people actually learn how to use the damn streaming service that's only $9.99 versus an overrated $30 bullshit for one freaking thing a month that isn't even worth $30, they actually would be able to find joy in wrestling again. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Good thing JJ went to me before Noah, because I could not be able to follow that. No chance.
Oh, Noah.
I think
cutting major promos.
JJ, that's just me, side directing over here. Don't mind me. Jesus Christ.
Damn, no.
That was a rant. That was a rant, Charles.
And that was a great open-faced hot roast beef sandwich that I just finished for the second time.
I can never follow Noah, everybody. I can't with that one.
Hey, that's like me at karaoke following the best singer in the room, and then they put me next.
Don't get me started on that, bless.
Uh-oh, don't say that word.
Reason, Momo.
Out of this group, Noah is the best singer in the room.
Valid as hell.
And he doesn't even like doing karaoke either.
He should be thankful that I didn't make my birthday shenanigans a karaoke episode.
Oh, Alvin, yeah, that would be. Look at Noah's face.
There's still time.
That's what I was doing last night, guys. That's my Saturday every other week. I do karaoke on Saturday.
That's good to know. Good to know.
I'll stick to sleeping.
There is still a pitch out there for a karaoke pretty soon, and I'm actually going to be at home that day. We talked about Jay, so you know.
You'll have to remind me because we message so much that things get lost in the shuffle. So
I could always send you guys in the chat a video because my girlfriend, when I sing a song she hasn't heard, she'll videotape me for a little bit on it. She's always done that since I've known her.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to watch myself, but she wanted to videotape me because she wanted to do it since she hadn't heard the song before for that I sang.
There you go. Yeah, I'll just say, Jay, the show I was talking about will definitely have Noah wondering why he always comes here, and I guess we'll never know.
my dad says, "So Noah, how do you really feel?"
Hey, that's a loaded question there.
It's a fair one.
Oh, solo shot! Look out!
If you really want to know how I really feel right now,
here we go.
what I just heard. It's been a while since I've done this on camera, and there's a reason why I don't do it on camera anymore.
Hey, I don't want Noah in the ring. So if you ever want to have to cut a promo against him in the ring.
The fact that Evan thinks I do a better promo than some people in the Fed speaks volumes for that historian.
Well, part of the reason Noah rarely ever does it anymore is because he's usually in the host chair and feels he has to maintain some decorum in my absence.
Yes.
He tries.
Well, that and I'm on blood pressure medications, which I literally just took.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Thank you, Ash. This is where I think we need to find some middle ground.
Yes.
Not every match needs a story, but it does need a reason why it's taking place. This is what, and I always jokingly say it, but it felt like the early years of AEW was just the carnival balloon game. The back wall in the arena would have balloons with the wrestler's name inside of it, and Tony would throw a dart, pop the balloon, John Moxley. Throw a dart, pop the balloon, Brandon Cutler. You guys go have a match.
To be fair, that match never happened. But
It's
also,
a joke, Noah.
It's
a joke, but it's to illustrate how random some of the matches come off, especially in the early days. And again, you've heard me say it. 2026 has gotten a lot better at that for them. But give me something, at least make it make sense. Let there be some underlying reason, not just two randos that are going in the ring and wrestling. And don't let something that looks like it should be a jobber match like that type of match go 20 minutes. Mox should be beating this dude in like 5 minutes. It shouldn't be a 15, 20-minute technical masterpiece.
Depends. You ever heard the word exhibition? That's what the
I
Continental
have.
Championship actually leads to, especially under a Luminaire scenario. Last time I checked, people like Josh Alexander and Shelton Benjamin aren't jobbers.
They're not, but they're also not on television either.
Well, that's because Josh Alexander has been injured, and Shelton Benjamin actually has been recently on television. He's been hurting people on Collision due to their hurt business, basically going into business for the money to hurt people. Honestly, if I could pay him to hurt people, I would. I don't mind seeing an exhibition with two people that show potential in what they could possibly be, either on their own or in a feud. Hell, Ring of Honor was founded upon that for quite a duration of that company's existence. Sometimes to get a chance on a person or a couple of young wrestlers It's just a matter of getting 2 men or 2 women in the ring and see what the fuck they can actually do within a decent time limit. Not necessarily 15 or 20 minutes, but 10 minutes. Proving grounds, for example, against Athena, have shown that close to the 10-minute mark, and the only one that went to a draw was Maya World. Where's Maya now? Oh, yeah, the face of TBS.
Agreed.
So again, to Ash's point, sometimes all you need to do is put the people in the ring and see what can be created based on either their history that we may not know about, that's what the commentary tell us, or the history you think that they can't make because maybe there's something similar in their styles. So at the end of the day, devil's advocate, I'm going to continue to be for as long as the word story exists, and that seems to be the biggest reason that people have some sort of affixation in or against wrestling. Not every damn fan needs a fucking story that involves a video package. Sometimes the story writes itself, bell to bell. With the people you at least expect.
All right. We will go ahead. We will run our trailer. Not sure how updated it is. It should be pretty updated.
Just run the banner across it. You'll be fine. I do it all the time.
And then we will be back, and I'm not sure what we'll discuss next. Whether we'll discuss the show I was at last night or open it up for questions in the chat, because that was really the only thing I wanted to discuss today. And we went about an hour on it, so that's pretty good. So we will be right back.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Sawyer, formerly known as Joe Gacy, and you're watching Simply Reliable Studios.
Even I can say there's some worthwhile thing in that trailer. And as always, the Super Reliable Studios folks, we truly encompass, embrace, celebrate, pontificate, analyze, criticize, and react to all the wrestling.
What was what? That's what I want to know. What was what?
Might be a first-time viewer.
What the fuck was that?
Welcome to Super Reliable Studios. If you don't know what that is the watch-alongs that we do, providing alternative commentary for your own engagement and entertainment as a blind conduit, but a reliable, open resource to all of the biggest shows across professional wrestling. Damn it.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm glad I'm gonna be in SoCal or in my own residence for that one weekend. Money in the Bank and Bound for Glory in the same weekend. That's pretty awesome. I forgot they were back-to-back days, because the other 2 weekends and the weekends after that in October, I'm gonna be just booked. So, yay for having Money in the Bank and Bound for Glory open.
I hope they do both right. Last year, the jury is out.
Gotcha. Okay, so Ness Lover was talking about the intro. That's Shane Sun from the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. No, it is the things that come. Yeah, the
Yeah, and now a taste of things to come. I always thought that was a great like little clip, and it leads perfectly into our watch alongs. It's like, and now for a taste of things to come, and this is all the stuff you'll be seeing us cover across the Simply Reliable Studios. If you are a new viewer, not only do we do the Shenanigans here, which is traditionally on a Saturday night,
correct,
11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. We're only doing a brunch version today because yesterday was my birthday. I was at a wrestling show. When I'm unable to make it, usually Noah is the host, the filler for me.
2 hours flat.
The Jay Leno to my Johnny Carson, So it's like when I'm unable to be there, usually he does it. But with it being my birthday, we still wanted the opportunity to celebrate, so we did it today instead. But we do watch alongs here, we do shenanigans, we do predictions entitled Simply Predicting, which all in Simply Predicting will be when, good sir?
As of right now, I think I'm going to stick to my usual, which is 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Thursday. So let's make it go!
So there you go. So we'll be doing Simply Predicting for that. You also have the Simple Sessions with Noah and our Canadian friend, Ash.
Giving our simple take away from G1 Climax and getting up to some Monopoly tomfoolery in this session's Baddie Games. Stay tuned for more on that.
I almost feel like I should be there for the Monopoly part because I used to play people for real money in my college.
I remember you telling me the story.
We would bet on a game $5, $10, $20, who was gonna win, and I would clean motherfuckers out.
Look, as long as I get the orange coin and the red coin, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. Y'all are fucked.
Apparently, Datilla says you two still need to do a simple session.
Let me know your schedule, bruv, and I'll see what I can do.
Hey,
Same with me.
Lockdown's tonight, and you've got the Joe Hendry intro if you need it. So, why not?
God damn it. There's one prediction.
Say his name.
Or be cursed.
Don't even start, Noah.
Nope. I've already done my part. You got to rant on me for free, and then you pulled that BS tomfoolery. There's a reason why you're the moderator. I'm the participator. Nope, shut it. You all know what happens.
No, you agreed at the outset.
Hey,
I don't have to agree to anything that I don't sign with my John Hancock. You hear me?
You
Hey,
agreed
we've
at the
seen
outset
John.
you would be here until you had to dip for lockdown.
That's fair.
We've seen Joe Hendry's entrance more on this show than we have in the since he's on the main roster.
Shit.
That's accurate.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Remember the intro actually mattered, though, when he actually mattered. What's he up to right now? You want me to start on that?
No. Oh, God, no, please don't. Please don't do that.
Hey, Jeff, we could get another rant out of Noah. Let's get another rant out of him.
I'm coming out an hour and a half, y'all. Let's not tomfoolery around here. You know what I mean?
Do you realize where you're freaking at? And I'm the one that's supposed to be the most sober and the most freaking controlled.
The only reason I am sober and controlled during the shenanigans because I have to go to work immediately after this. Like I'm literally going to be doing this shit and changing as we're going toward the end here. So yeah, I know, Noah. Just I have choices to make today, and I choose to stay employed by the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Jeff's not going to take a sick day today for that.
Well, either way, I'm still leaving you Yahoo's courted till to change out and prepare for lockdown because I guess my buddy's coming over to actually watch the countdown for what it's worth. So I'm at least going to give him that much.
That's yes, I remember.
Hey guys, if I'm still awake Thursday night, I'll be on for predictions. It depends because I still got to work Friday morning, but it's the last day of the week, so I could half-ass it while I'm at work Friday.
It doesn't take a whole lot.
AEW predictions go almost as long as an AEW pay-per-view. So.
Oh my God.
3 hours. But hey, it's still more fun countdown for me than actually watching any countdown for any pay-per-view or PLE. Except AEW actually gives me wrestling. By the way, the 0 hour, good stuff with ELP and Chris Brooks. I'm glad they ran that back. And more Vert Vixen. I love seeing Vert Vixen. Love her attitude. Anyway.
I always get Vert Vixen and Viva Van mixed up because they're the double V's. Viva Van is the Hellbent Vixen, and then the other is Vert Vixen. I always get them mixed up.
Well, they're going by, I think, like a soft tag team name right now. Something Vixens, Hellbent Vixens, or something like that. And I can understand the confusion. Plus, they were just in tag team action on the Zero against Shirakawa and Queen Aminata, who make a very unique tag team combination, but also very effective.
Yeah, give me Mina and Viva Van as a team, and I think you'll have a lot of people in the arena that are puddles.
Oh, brother.
JJ's not wrong.
I would take those Vixens over wrestling Vixens any day. Just throwing that out there. And if you don't look to remember wrestling Vixens, good on you, brother. And if you do remember it, I'm sorry.
I'm glad I don't. As much history as you've taught me, Jeff. That's one thing I don't know.
I purposely didn't teach you that one. Don't worry.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I vaguely remember wrestling Vixens, but I did ask Mikey O'Shea how his sister was when I saw him at the.
Oh, did you now? Oh, did you now?
For those that know, that if you don't know, I'm not going to say nothing.
And if you don't know why Jeff's getting redder in the face than usual, just don't ask.
You know what? Maybe without a super chat, you should leave that alone. Speaking of super chats, I will acknowledge one thing, like I did on Celebrate J.J. Maybe this could be a bit of a conversation piece for you, JJ. When do Naomi and Bianca Belair come back? By the way, congrats to Bianca Belair, who recently had her baby.
Yes. So, yes, Noah, Dill, that's partially why Jeff is called the professor. It goes back to Mike Tenay, but yeah, that's.
I think one of them comes back at the Rumble. I think Naomi will come back before Bianca will.
I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think Bianca will come back at the Rumble.
Yes.
I think Naomi will be back before that.
Arizona's a weird
place. I wish they had pulled the trigger and done a female bloodline.
Well, Aaron's been saying that on No DQ for a while about Naomi being part of it.
Yeah, they had it for a minute with Naomi. You had Tamina Snuka. You've got Nia Jax.
Nia.
You've got Naomi. You've got, you had Ava. And I believe there's somebody in LFG that's connected to the bloodline.
I think you're right. Give me a second.
I forget the name, but I believe there's somebody that's in LFG that's connected to the bloodline. So there's your 5.
Freaking every Samoa at this point is connected to the bloodline.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
those are getting nasty in Frisco and Florida. They gonna keep popping them out.
Samoa Joe's like the only one that's not related to them.
Thank goodness.
I've said it for years. As long as them on the Wahis keep getting busy, they ain't never gonna stop that bloodline.
I call them a baby factory. They're just all on conveyor belts.
Jay, I know you're right. I just can't remember who.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna bug me for a second. I'll find it.
It's okay. I mean,
Google AI.
it's not life or death threatening right now, but like
I'll still find it.
But anywho, I did want to talk a little bit about the show from yesterday because and I want Walter, I was hoping Nick would have been here because it's not like he didn't know we were doing Brunch Shenanigans. It's not like he didn't know what time the show was going to be.
Put him on the spot.
But no, MFers out, eating. It's all the Canadian does, the Canadian king of food, but I digress. Still love you, Nick. Just got to give you shit.
Idiot.
But, so Walter and I will talk a little bit about it. I'll go to Walter first, having been the one taking it in at home, doing the watch along, kind of seeing it from that point of view. Walter, what did you think of the FWW show?
The matches were fine. They had a couple of technical issues, but it's indies. You got to take it. I saw Nick was getting a little frustrated, but I kept saying we can handle this. We're professionals. It's the indies. It's gonna happen. There were times where you could see their camera was low on battery and needed charging, so it would like die in the middle of filming and then switch to a different camera angle. It froze a lot. Like the thing. I still don't know who won the Candy and Lexi Gonzalez match versus the two
The
guys.
girls won.
I assume that because it's a women's wrestling match. Part of that pissed me off because it's an all women's thing. Why didn't you just bring out two other women? Like, why have guys have to invade it? Like, part of me got it. Like, it was to conquer. Hey, the women conquer the men. But at the same time, it's all about women. You shouldn't have booked guys. But maybe somebody talent didn't show up or something happened and they just had somebody there.
I didn't ask Manuel about it directly. I was talking to him off and on throughout the whole night, but I didn't
Yeah.
ask him about this. But I assume it was his way of giving back to the guys that did ring crew.
Oh, okay.
And then when you factor in what Candy Girl said at the outset about how, women are at best given one match per show on some of these other feds. So how important it is that there's federations out there that are devoted just to women. I feel like it was designed for the women to make the men submissive. This is our domain. This is our house. You're not just going to come up in here and disrespect. We own this place. Get out. Go back to where you came from.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But when the camera and the website was working, it was fine. Match of the night was, to me, of course, the one we sponsored. I feel like they really picked up the pace there. They were just going at it, like really fast pace, going after it back and forth. Of course, Allure would we sponsor her, and she would be the match of the night. And I'm not saying that because we sponsored her. It's literally that's where the pace picked up, and it just really was on and popping for that match. Oh yeah, P Nasty's the Samoan, yeah, from LFG.
Ugh. But also, Jasmine Lord, top tier, veteran, queen of the independents. Shall I say more? Seriously, come on now.
Hey, Delilah is a veteran. Her opponent is 38. Their opponent actually won with a nasty combo. Like the way she did that, I think Jasmine landed on her head kind of hard. Like I was a little worried the way. Oh Lord, you could talk about that, JJ. You were right there. The way Jasmine landed on her head, I was like, holy shit, damn.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I was a little bit bummed about that match only because it's the first time we sponsored a loser.
Yeah,
I love Jasmine. She'll never be a loser to me, to us. She's always been good to us. But like with the exception of Dragon Kai, which we only sponsored their Taekwondo demonstration, so the impromptu match that followed, I don't really count. But we sponsored Royal Prestige. They won. We sponsored Kaya. She won. We sponsored Izzy. She won. We're going to sponsor Colby. We'll see if he retains. We sponsored Jasmine. She lost.
Yeah, that was.
It's like we were on a good run there. It's like, come on, Jasmine. We don't sponsor losers.
Yeah, streaks are meant to be broken, but you can't argue the caliber of athlete we sponsored.
I was a little bummed out, and then I got really happy at the main event. Those ladies, I don't know what the hell that stick was that they were using. I don't know if that was a broken mop handle, a pool stick, but it was like a wooden stick. They're beating the hell out of each other. I liked how everybody was fucking with the crowd too. I think there was a family on one side of the crowd because they specifically kept going to that side of the audience, and I didn't like that because that annoying ass mofo from Vegas was there that annoyed the shit out of us. That you and I both wanted to punch in the goddamn face, but I noticed him right away on camera. I was like, "That's that fucker." But anyways, because he swears he has inside knowledge of stuff. I don't know who the fuck he is from a hole in the wall, but I swear he thinks he has something to do with wrestling.
Okay.
But anyways,
I must say this. I am going to say this with all the love in the world.
On the wall.
Okay, this dude acts like the preconceived notions were of no DQ back in the Gorilla days.
Yeah.
Like the way that fans kind of looked at the no DQ guys and the way they talked and were always in the front and had access. this guy acts that way.
Mm-mm.
And obviously, some of the No DQ crew were fantastic and are family. Others fell by the wayside for reasons.
Mhm.
But this guy has that arrogance to him. I will say, when they announced the sponsors the 2 times,
Mhm.
and I kind of raised my hand when they, announced Simply Reliable Studios, I will commend him. He kind of gave like the Great Gatsby drink salute my
Mhm.
way, like, good on you for sponsoring, So I'll give him a little bit on that, but yeah.
I don't know, dude. Just annoying. And this isn't the good way that I say about like NXT stars. He's got a slappable face, and it ain't the good way. But the main event, the proudest moment is we have a new FWW champ, and we get to interview 2 champs back to back now because Simone won the title. So it's like, holy shit, we get 3 champs in total because we have one half of the GCW tag team champions as well. So that shit hyped me up. But yeah, the show overall was good. It's just the little technical issues they had. But
Well,
it comes with
congratulations.
indies. What the hell do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. Congrats to Simone.
Had to go and update the graphic with her now being the champion,
Well, represent. Much like the way that Kai McKenna had to spark Joshi in the Pro Wrestling Symphony Championships.
That's a
I
good
love
looking
it.
title too, by the way.
I love you promoted it with this the champ is here song. I was like, there you go. Good job, JJ. He knows. JJ knows. JJ members.
I was trying to think of a good song to put because she debuted a brand new theme song yesterday.
Yes.
So I knew that wasn't going to be up on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what do I put? I was like, okay, We Are the Champions is a little too played out, too over melodramatic, doesn't really fit her vibe.
No.
What would fit her vibe? The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yeah.
That's a vibe of its
I
own
do
class.
like a lot of the music that people came out to. I was like, holy shit. Every time somebody came out, at least one of their songs got stuck in my head.
Look, the biggest theme song fail for me. Theme song fail. And it's something that if we can get her to come on the show, I'm going to talk to her about. But Candy Girl.
Oh.
She did not use New Edition's Candy Girl for her.
I said that!
He did. He did.
Like, I legit, when I saw that there was someone called Candy Girl on the show, I'm like, Candy Girl?
That's the I was singing it. I was singing it throughout the whole thing. I was like, why the hell isn't she coming out to that?
I'm like, dude, that so should have been her song.
And I'm glad she came out. She gave me the opportunity to do all the puns. She was the only one I could fit puns into.
Oh my god. Yeah. That's too funny. Yeah, I just
and in that match, the Chubin, Showtime Chubin.
Yeah.
The way he was trying to be, Mr. Arrogant heel, macho man with the girls. I kept fucking with him so bad. I was like, he's just jealous that your tattoos are better than his.
Oh, you can hear a lot of shit from the audience. You can hear almost everything they were saying. That the camera picked up a bunch of shit. You could hear when they were fucking with the wrestlers.
So I'm gonna have to go back and listen because if you heard that, that was me.
Well, there you go.
And she even looked at me, was like, "Damn right."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Candy Girl may be the Candy Girl, but Lex Gonzalez had the cake. Anyways.
Yes, so does Karma. Even Alicia came on the stream and was like, "Damn, Karma looked good." I was like, "Yeah."
now you see why I went up to Karma.
Yeah.
Karma, Simone, referee JC, all coming soon to us. Talked to Candy Girl, talked to Lex, talked to Ari Jade and Alyssa Jade. It's going to be weird having Jades on the show that, are actually pleasant.
Right.
But that's a whole other story. Jeff's like, check, please.
I won't even say anything, but yeah, we got some people told us some shit. about certain people. That's all I'll say.
But yeah, it was a fun show. I got there early, just kind of kicking back in the background, nursing a Dr. Pepper, a $5 bottle of Dr. Pepper.
Wow, why does that not surprise me?
That would have cost about $2.29 at the convenience store.
California.
At this point, your nickname should be Dr. Pepper or Dr. Thunder Pepper.
Okay, so no, I must say this much, and I know you're a gamer too, but this is to try to rope Noah. Noah, if we ever get you to California, we are taking you to this place, bro, because it was called Gamecraft Brewery. And I know you're not a drinker, you're 98% sober, blah, blah, blah. But in the little warehouse where you literally see the tumblers and the bins where the beer is kept and brewed, they have a television with an Atari 2600 setup. They've got stacks upon stacks upon stacks of board games, card games, Uno, decks of cards, Cards Against Humanity, Monopoly this version.
JJ, I want to go with you too. That sounds great.
They had those video game consoles that you see at Walmart with multiple video games built in, and Dig Dug and Pac-Man and everything. It's like, I'm not the biggest gamer anymore. Had I been with somebody, had a friend with me, we probably would have been playing some games while we were waiting for everything to begin. But the whole experience was just cool. And then they set the rain up outside. So you get the wrestling, you get all these games. They've got drink specials tied into, the venue and everything. But I could definitely see this as a place that Noah would enjoy, even though he's not a drinker per se. Throw the brewery part away and just focus on the gamecraft. I think you'd have fun here. As Nick is finally here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
You're too late for that. If you had been here at the outset, we could have done that.
JJ. Oh.
Thank you very much.
This is for Antes. I haven't been with Dig Dug since I was a child, and I remember going all the way to round 70 on an old Gateway PC. But it does sound engaging to me, to say the least. If I ever choose to travel out to California, I did say I'm going to finally take a vacation again after 6 years next year. The question is where, so we'll see.
So
my
kind of place.
And
my
I was
question
telling
about the
Jeff,
venue.
hold, Nick, people are talking.
Jesus. Adults are talking.
And like I was telling Jeff, it's literally down the street from Angel Stadium. So if you want to see an Angels game, Angel Stadium in the parking lot is the Grove of Anaheim, where I've seen UPW shows. Just past Angel Stadium is Staples Center South, or the Honda Center, where the team that used to be owned by Disney, that is no longer owned by Disney, but has 3 movies named after him that were made by Disney that are actually better than the actual team, because the movie version actually won championships and the real version only has 1 championship.
Hey, they have multiple
division championships.
Good
Okay,
on 'em.
JJ.
Now,
JJ,
hold on,
that
Dave.
sounds-
Hold on, Dave.
Okay.
Because I feel like I gave him shit about not being here, and now he's here, and I've been a dick to him, cutting him off a couple times because we were still in the flow of conversation.
Yeah, dicks.
Nick. Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. So the place that you went, it sounds great. Did it have working Wi-Fi?
That is something I didn't really look into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not look into that, but I was asked by one of the ladies who I've reached out to, because we're not getting her in this setting for an interview. No, nay. It'll actually be a sit-down human to human interview.
Oh, very nice.
And I've been asked about, when the next show will be, and I got to make sure that the venue we do it at has Wi-Fi so that I can, do everything and get a stationary microphone. But Karma is going to actually be an in-person sit-down interview with her and I.
Oh, nice.
I'll keep you posted on next year, JJ. You got my intrigue, to say the least. Though California wasn't necessarily the first place I was figured out when it came to traveling.
Well, I mean, if we can get you down here on a good weekend, we can maybe get 3 shows, that weekend with you. Get a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday show.
And me in 3 different suits. All right, we'll see. I'll think about it.
I love you, bro, but depending what time of the year you come down here, do not wear a suit to an independent wrestling show.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about summer. I do not travel during the summer.
But this is California. Unless it's raining, it's pretty warm all year long. And then you figure you're stuck inside these little bingo hall gymnasiums most of the time with 150, maybe 200 fat, sweaty basement dwellers. You probably don't want to wear a suit.
Well,
Polo shirt and jeans, business casual.
We'll see.
But you came at a good time, Nick. Walter and I were talking about last night's show. What do you think of the offering for future of women's wrestling? Technical issues be damned. Because, again, it's independent wrestling, and it was a website we had never used before. But the overall show.
Okay. I am going to be honest. And please, if anybody's watching, don't take this the wrong way. That show was, I did not enjoy it. I think the biggest is like so the women, I can tell that the women worked hard. Everybody, like, they put their all into it. And that's, it was very noticeable, and I commend people for it. My biggest issue with it, and I think for me, and if you've seen people have watched our watch-alongs, there was no commentary. That was a really big miss for me. And I get it. It's an independent show. Like, I get it. But I needed some sort of commentary.
Okay.
Because I felt like...
If I may, just to counterpoint you here.
Yeah.
When you're an independent wrestling company that is already only doing every other month because it's self-financed and isn't as successful to where you're running monthly, number one, commentators are an additional expense. Would you rather spend that money on talent for another match or on a couple of chubs to sit there and, commentate? And then secondly, and this is just my personal outlook on it, I don't know, Noah, Walter, your thoughts on it, but when I'm doing our commentary, 9 times out of 10, I got the TV muted anyways. Number one, I don't want to get copyrighted because the microphone picks up the feed. And number two, I don't want what they're telling me to influence what I'm telling the audience. The whole point is it's alternative commentary, not me regurgitating what Michael Cole is saying, not me regurgitating what Corey Graves is saying, not me regurgitating what Excalibur is saying. It's alternative commentary. Our commentary shouldn't be influenced by what we're hearing on the feed or the television anyway. That's just my little counterpoint there.
No, fair. I think...
And hey, if we form enough of a bond with Manny, Walter and I, or Jeff and I, could end up being commentators for these guys going forward. Because, I mean, we talked to Manny Manuel, we interviewed him already. Talked to him multiple times during the show. He apologized for how nervous he was in his interview because he's not used to doing that type of stuff to promote his brand.
Yeah.
I showed him you guys during intermission, like, hey, my boys are doing a broadcast of this right now. So he knew we were covering it like we promised him we would. So, like, seeds I feel have been planted to where maybe come the next show, whether it's October, November, or even come next year. Maybe we could be commentators for them.
Yeah. Who knows, right?
Take the video from last night, sync it up with our audio from last night, mash the two together, send it to them, be like, hey, what do you think? This is what your broadcast would sound like with us on it.
Yeah. No, and I hear you. I just, for me at least, like for me, I feel like even if it was one guy maybe doing it, I'd feel like, I think because I'm just a very like not like you guys were, or like not like Noah, who knows a lot of the moves and names of the moves and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like the show with a commentator, especially on that show, would have added another layer to it, which would have made it good. So the commentary thing for me was a miss. The opening match, it was good. They put on a decent match. And Simone's the last one standing match, that was a good match. I mean, friend of the show, family member, whatever you want, top tier Jasmine Allure, she was great. That match, Walter, who was that? Delia Doom? Was that her name?
Delilah Doom.
Yeah, Delilah Doom.
Delilah Doom. Sorry, no. Was a standout in the sense of the in-ring product, like in-ring. She was a standout. She was great. Look wise, what's the Karma, aesthetically, she looked really good. She had like a very Paige-esque mean side to her. So there's a lot of good things coming out of it. But I think my biggest thing with the show that lost me, and I understand why they did it, and I understand the reason. I think I understand the reasoning behind it. But I was very disappointed in the Candy Girl and the other girl and versus their opponents.
Lexi, I think it was Lex Gonzalez.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in that from the standpoint, and again, I understood what they were trying to do, but having the two women versus the two men, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
See, and I just had finished defending that to Walter prior to you popping in.
Yeah.
I think it served twofold. Number one, I think it was just Manuel as a thank you to the guys that did ring crew. The three guys in the opening match, the unannounced match, they were all part of the ring crew setting up, and then the two guys in that match were part of the ring crew. All students of the Santino brothers, by the way. So be on the lookout for them, because Santino's has definitely got a track record for delivering top tier talent. So you never know when one of those guys may make it somewhere big. But I think that was Manuel's thank you for them being ring crew one. But then I think it served the greater purpose of what Candy Girl said prior to the match. You know, so many of the federations, whether it's your local independents or TV, you're lucky if you get one women's match per show. So for these guys to come in here and try to take a spotlight from a company that's supposed to be dedicated to women, it's like, what the hell are you doing here? Get out of our house. And so the fact that they were able to overcome, beat them, double pin, you know, the two of them on top of the other two stacking bodies, I think it made for a compelling within-match story about the women, the Rosie the Riveters, if you will, kicking the men out of their workplace. This is our place. Go to some other company where you can have 5 matches on the card.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I mean. Like, I understood it, I got it, and I think even too that was at the point where we were having the tech issues. But so
There were
I understood.
definitely light issues there, yeah.
Yeah, but and I get it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I get the message that they were trying to send. I understand it. It didn't do it for me. It didn't. I'll be honest. It really, it it didn't. It just didn't sit well with me. It didn't. But other than that, like, the show was good. The women, did their part. They came out. They showed out. There was again a couple of standouts. Definitely wish them well. Going forward. Yeah, it was a show.
Okay. I mean, to each their own.
Yeah.
Not everything is going to hit for everybody,
Nope. No. And that's the beauty about what we do here, right? Like,
yeah. I'll admit that there were matches that delivered better to me than others, but I'd say start to finish, I enjoyed the whole card. The 3 matches that I highlighted in my Instagram reel yesterday, the ones that I was most looking forward to, I think were the 3 best matches on the card. Not just because I was already going in there looking forward to them, but just from a performance and delivery standpoint. Karma's match, Jasmine's match, and Simone's match, I think, were the 3 best matches on the card.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely some women that caught my eye for a number of different reasons. No, Noah, not just for pervy reasons, but for performance reasons also. But so I made sure to approach them about possible interviews down the road. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a solid show. I feel like I'm on one end of the extreme, you're on the other end of the extreme, Nick, and Walter's kind of in the middle. Is that a fair assessment for those of you that have heard the 3 of us discuss it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I was in and out by the time I actually got home to watch it. But yeah, that is, like Nick said, that's the beauty of professional wrestling, and that's that's why doing the watch along. That's why you guys have continued to do the watch alongs. That's why we started doing the watch alongs back when it was the multiverse of media, because there is something in wrestling for everybody. And Jay, you and I have constantly been up the entire wrestling world's ass about it. If you can't find at least one thing in the course of a weekend or a show or whatever, then you might be the problem.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel that's a risk that you run for an all-women's promotion from the jump. And let me preface this. This is no disrespect intended to any woman wrestler out there, because Jeff and I have been advocates for women's wrestling for 15 years as a pair, Jeff going back even longer. I know Noah's a huge advocate for women's wrestling. So don't take this the wrong way. Any women that we've had on the show, that may be coming on the show, that are watching right now, that are driving cars, with Nick in the passenger seat, because we don't want Nick to get wrecked for hearing this. But when you run a federation that is all women, you're gonna get that stigma attached to it. Almost you're not good enough to get booked on other shows, so you had to form your own company so you can get a spotlight. Because, to Candy Girl's point, a lot of companies give 1, maybe if you're lucky, 2 matches to women. That's why intergender is such a big thing on the indies. That's why Candice and Joey had to have fucking guerrilla warfare matches where Candice comes out bloody as hell because you weren't even getting a women's match on PWG back in those days. She had to wrestle intergender just to get a spot on the card. And I still will talk shit about that bitch, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But but you're gonna get
no. I was just gonna say it's one of those. It's the reason why we do this, because things hit differently, and for the people like I want to say, because I don't want it to come off as me just bitching. People that are people, if people have watched this for so long, you would know that I am, even if AEW is my promotion, I'll call it out. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat things. If I don't like something, I will tell you I don't like something. So it's not me being, hopefully, like anybody that from that show that is watching us now, I want you to know that it's not the fact, I'm not trying to be critical of the show. It's just these are things to me that didn't work for me. But if you watch it back, if you watch our commentary and you watch our watch along, Walter had a good time with it. If you watch back, Walter had a good time, and I'm pretty sure that he liked the show. For me, it just I'm not trying to say to anybody that I could do a better job or anything like that. It's just, again, it was a show that didn't hit for me.
It wasn't your bag, baby.
No, it wasn't, dude. And like, again, like I hate, we've had, like you guys said, you guys interviewed the president of the company just last week, right? So like, again, I'm going to tell you my honest opinion, and if you don't like it, then I'm sorry. But that is my honesty with it, right? I just don't want people to think that I'm just shitting on it for the sake of shitting on it, because I'm not. Because again, I can tell you that if this was an AEW thing, Lord knows I'd fucking rip it. You know what I mean? So hopefully they do a better job next time, the next show. Definitely have to clean up the tech issues, because those were pretty bad, I think, in my opinion. Walter, is your battery low?
So Walter mentioned that when we started talking about the show. Let Nick ask you flat out. You watch this show without the tech issues, and again, it's hard probably to imagine because it was tech issue riddled. But if you were to go back and see that card without the tech issues, do the tech issues take you out of it enough?
No. Even if there weren't the tech issues,
okay,
I'd still feel the same.
Okay.
If I was getting, if even if the tech issues weren't there, like the tech issues definitely pulled me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was more so, I think it was more so the wrestling. Again, the wrestling was good. I don't take bumps. I am not somebody that's ever going to take a bump. So for me to criticize somebody that does it, we give people shit for that all the time.
Sure.
But I will say, there were things that I'm not looking for TV, and I said this to Walter. Wasn't looking for TV quality-esque fucking performances in chain wrestling. But I was expecting, a decent job, and the women did put on a decent job. But again, no, tech issues aside, I think the lack of the commentary, again, for whatever reason, and what it is what it is. I think the lack of commentary for me, and it was and that second match with Candy and the men, I think I think that match pulled me out to that point.
Okay, fair enough, man.
I think that match pulled you out because we didn't get to see who won because of the technical difficulty. I don't think.
No, no, but Walter, you heard me. I was bitching about the men in it too, right? Again, I understood what they were going for. I understand what they were going with. I didn't like it. I did not like it at all.
Yeah, but tell the folks you weren't here when we said it. But what was I singing the whole time Candy Girl was out?
That's too funny.
I don't remember. What were you singing? I forgot.
The new edition Candy Girl song, and then JJ
yeah,
did
that's
this shit.
right.
JJ did this shit when he came out. He said, "How did they miss the chance of not making her come out to that?" I was like, "Dude, that's what I said."
Dude, some of the music they were using was crazy. I was like, "Holy shit!"
That's a bad miss. Yeah.
But anyways, I love you guys. If you guys are on in a bit, I will come back on. But I have to skedaddle. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit.
But she did. She came out to Maniac because she was like this fitness. She reminded me of like Suzanne Summers when she was selling the Thigh Master. You guys remember? That's what
God damn it.
Delilah came out
aging
to.
us on the goddamn show today. Christ
That's what
almighty.
Delilah came out to, Maniac, and she was dressed like that. That fitness, like I don't know. I meant to say Delilah, not Candy Girl, but she reminded me of like Suzanne Summers. Or he kept saying Richard Simmons, but I'm like, dude, she's a woman. Say Suzanne Summers. I think it was Suzanne Summers with the Thigh Master.
It was. That's back in way my day.
Dude, she had the fitness. Is that what she reminded you of, JJ Delilah?
A little bit. I mean, a lot of the fans were like, do it for Richard Simmons. So, like, the Richard Simmons comparisons were being thrown on screen there, too. Yeah, her coming out to Maniac from Flashdance popped me, I'm not going to lie.
Well, yeah.
But I still feel like she kind of reminds me of Gabby Forza's older sister.
Fuck.
Just
yeah.
facially and everything. Like if you look at her physically, she looks like she could be Gabby's older sister.
100%.
And it's funny because Walter was like, now that you said it, I can't unsee it.
No. That's the worst part because our brains do that and it's not right. Oh Lord, that's too funny.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really solid show. I told Manuel that I'll definitely, I don't know if I'll be there for the Dream Slam show next month because that's like their partner, that's their brother brand, if you will. Yeah. They're the sister brand to it.
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
That's why the title is called FWW/.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'll be going to that one next month, but I did tell Manuel that I'll be there for the next FWW show. Hell, he even had put out a call like the day prior, like, anybody want to be the ring announcer?
Shit.
I almost messaged him.
Right?
Dude, I would have done it if I was out in SoCal.
I mean, I don't have the attire for it.
Right.
You know, I don't have like the suit or anything, which is the only reason why I didn't.
Yeah.
But like, I thought about it.
Hell, Emo doesn't wear a suit when he announces for GCW.
There's a big difference between a company called The Last Outlaws and a company of women.
True.
You want to look good when you're around women like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Very fair.
Well, that basically takes care of that.
Oh.
Noah has dipped.
He did.
He said that he had to take off, get ready for the watch along, which doesn't start for another 45 minutes. But
that's okay.
We will take the opportunity to run the trailer one more time, then we'll come back and we'll start getting into the shills. Get out of here.
And now for a taste of things to come.
Hello, everybody. This is Joseph Sawyer, formerly known as Joe Gacy, and you're watching Simply Reliable Studios.
All the professional wrestling and more. I kind of missed the old way Noah did it. All the wrestling, we got to get him to do that again.
We just need to record it. That way we can use it for all time.
Right? Just throw it at the end of the trailer. Then
That's
he
it.
doesn't have to do it.
That's right. That's
And
right.
if he's not here, like right now, still have his presence.
All right, everybody. Happy Sunday. Adam Pierce on the ground in beautiful
Sorry,
Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where tomorrow
What? Adam Pierce? I didn't
That's
know he was coming
preview
on
of
the
Raw.
show. Damn, okay. Got the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion on the show. Man who rode shotgun in our van.
This is what happens when you stream, folks, and you don't realize your tabs are audio open. Anyway, yeah, Pierce is previewing Raw tomorrow night. So there you go. Tune in to Raw tomorrow night because what else you doing on Monday night? Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get through here. Do our shills. First of all, we will start with Charles.
Yeah, Charles.
Yeah, of course. You can follow me on Twitter at Talk Crandall. Believe it, Chase, you damn it. I'll be cursed.
That's right.
That's right. I don't got to worry about Noah knocking us and chase you today.
Shit today. That's
Agreed.
it. Damn it.
Dave.
Thank you. Remember, thanks, JJ. We all mentioned Becky earlier and no DQ. That was when me and Gino and Matthew and Gino's and my buddy Chris got to meet Seth and Becky at an Ammo Coffee thing the day of Backlash when we went in May. When I got to meet Matthew for the first time, I had just met Gino prior to that. It was a great time, and Becky's a sweetheart, and I made Seth smile when he was pissed off that day. By just saying the best thing was I loved when he debuted with the Shield. He loved it. He said, "Thanks, Dave." But you can find me on No DQ. Find me on Facebook. Find me on with you guys, and thank you for having me. And with our friend Oofman Entertainment. Thanks to Aaron again, as JJ mentioned in the beginning. Aaron brought us all together, and it's been a pleasure meeting you, gentlemen, and hope to meet you all in person at one point. JJ, you mentioned you were talking to Noah. I'm as much about game shows and games as he is. You mentioned Atari 2600. It was my first system. Dig Dug, I used to play in the old arcades when I was a teenager. And if I'm ever out in California, I'd love to see that place. I'd love it. We have Dave and Buster's out here, and I even liked going there with my son when he was younger. It makes me feel like a kid again, because as you get older, you get younger. So we get more like kids as we get older, because now people have to take care of us. You'll learn that when we get to be even older than I am now. But I appreciate you guys having me on. I'll be happy to join for predictions Thursday night if this old man can stay up that late. So thank you again, guys.
Absolutely, Dave. You're a welcome addition to the brand and to the Shenanigans. I was going to go to Walter next, but I know he is on the phone, so I will throw to Jeff. Go ahead and do his next.
Well, I've got my usual, find me on the socials at _Jeff Meacham on Twix, on Instagram, on Threads. Find me when you can on the productions of NoDQ.com, the Greg Cherry brand, and of course right here on the Simple Reliable Studios. Also, I mentioned Bound for Glory weekend, Bound for Glory / Money in the Bank weekend. The following weekend, right here in Anaheim, California, cheap McFoley pop. My buddies Paradise Kitty are going to be on the bill with Slaughter and Quiet Riot out here at, JJ mentioned it, the Grove of Anaheim. So come on out and support Paradise Kitty. Support, if you're a fan of Slaughter, if you're a fan of Quiet Riot, if you're a fan of Guns N' Roses music, come on out to the Grove. I'll be there for sure. It's looking like I'm going to have family there with me, depending on travel and whatnot. So hopefully we can get as many people out there as we can. The kitties very rarely perform together in SoCal, especially as local as they are to me right now. And Ariel, my buddy Ariel, is going to be on the bill with Paradise Kitty. So I am so stoked for October, man. We've got Money in the Bank. We've got Bound for Glory. We've got this show. The following weekend, I'll be in Arizona for the premiere of The Last Nightmare Part 2 from my buddy Braden Timmons. The final chapter of the Halloween H2O saga that he's cultivated the last few years. So, man, and of course, Halloween itself. So, October is going to be a fun month, and I'm looking, you know, the old song from back in the XMV days was "Wake Me Up When September Ends," because that's when XMV came back. It was the end of September of 2005. I can deal with September just going by really quick this year because it's gonna suck. I'm not gonna lie. So, give me to October, baby.
I mean, September isn't going to suck for a wrestling level because there's so many shows that I'm eyeing going to, money permitting, you know, with House of Glory, GCW, Santino Brothers, you know. So.
And to be fair, it's going to suck in the travel and lack of revenue front, but I'm going to be able to hopefully be a part of a lot of good calls. You know, Triple Mania is in September. Sunday night's main event is in September.
All Out.
All Out. The same day as whatever show AAA is running that day.
And Heat Wave, I
and
think.
Heat Wave, yeah. Oh no, Heat Wave is on the 30th next Sunday.
Okay.
Which, as of now, I'm working for the mouse. I'm trying to not be. But
Well, I know that there's like AAA, NXT, and is it that on All In weekend?
That's all in. That's all in day. Next
My
Sunday.
bad. I thought it was All Out. Okay. My
No, All Out
confusion.
is just being counter-programmed by NXT, which, excuse me, by AAA in the same city, down the street from All In.
Oh, Worlds Collide. That's what that one is.
Because, you know, Paul's not petty or anything. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, next Sunday, if I'm not obligated to the mouse, I am down to be part of the calls for AAA, which they're called. They actually they named it Heat Wave in Spanish. I forget the actual Ola del. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Sorry to all my Spanish speaking people. I'm sorry, but they're doing that Heat Wave, and then around the same time is going to be All In London.
Fuego, calor, fuego.
No, I got it. Just give me a second. Yeah.
Fuego means fire. Calor means heat. So
Hang
I don't know what they
on,
named it.
Hang on. I want to be able to say it right. Hang on. AAA. Ola de calor. There you go. Ola de calor is apparently heat wave in Spanish. So, or at least that's the promoting. But anyway, those two shows are going to be back to back. One's on YouTube, one's on the CW. If you don't have the CW, these guys here will have it covered for you. So, and then of course All In. So yeah, crazy next few weeks. You're going to see a lot more than you probably want to see on your YouTube screens. I'm not going to lie, because being homeward bound for 12 days sucks. So I'm going to be wanting to be busy.
Hey, but we love when you're accessible and able to be part of the brand and the channels, Jeff. You know, we miss you when you're not here.
I appreciate it.
We love it when you're able to be part. And I know the fans enjoy seeing you pop in. I mean, hell, Nick damn near pops his shit every time he hears that you're going to be around. So
Nick pops his shit in the chat room on the review. It's like, dude, Nick, you're going to crash your computer. It's okay. Just me. We're good.
Nick being Nick.
What? Oh, Lord, look at this.
We gotta update this graphic. At Rage of Wrestling is the YouTube channel. Walter.Cruz940 is the Instagram. And Twitter, of course, as many of you are actually watching on the Twitter one. Walter Alex Cruz. If you can click on over to the YouTube, takes a couple of seconds to just hit subscribe, and then you go right back on next. Just hit the subscription button and the bell for notifications.
that's right. Like and subscribe. That's the big thing there. Where did the thing go? There it is.
That's cool.
And then for me, and I apologize, my shills for today is going to sound like a normal Jeff Meacham shill. Because I got a lot of stuff to dive into. So first and
I apologize.
foremost, you can find me on the
Yes.
Instagram at the Renegade J.J. Williams. Of course, on YouTube, Casa D18 Studios, the X, Casa D18 Studio, no S at the end. Make sure you're following the Simply Reliable Studios on the X at SR Studios 2024. And without Noah here to shit on it, is that not just a lovely group of men and women, Chase University brothers and sisters?
And dolls.
Hey, Chucky. I don't know if I would call Chucky a doll. I've seen what Chucky can do.
Don't tempt fate.
But what a collection of alumni there.
With the turncoat Ridge Holland, too.
That's right.
You know, that he won a championship as part of Chase University. So
I
gotta
will say, Halloween time has started at Disney. Do not invoke the power of Chucky right now. It's already Halloween time. Do not fucks with Charles Lee Ray, okay? Just don't. No me chingas, okay? I'm just saying. Walter knows.
And then
No ending.
go back in the archives, check out our interview with Manuel Fabian, president of Future of Women's Wrestling. You know, we already touched on Manuel saying that he apologized for the interview and how nervous he was. We will go ahead and acknowledge it wasn't our greatest interview that we've done as a result of the nervousness, but it was still a fun conversation with a man who's passionate about promoting women's wrestling and getting to pick his brain, especially about why he set up some of the matches he had set up for the show that we just called and attended. Was very cool. Next week kicks off 6 interviews in about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Next week, we will be featuring the GCW Young Lions. Tuesday, August 25th, Junie Underwood is going to step into the stream for some shenanigans. Thursday, August 27th, Sturdy Sal Mastretta is going to be stepping into the stream for some shenanigans. Then we loop into the next week, Tuesday, September 1st, your and new Future of Women's Wrestling champion, Simone, is going to be gracing us with some shenanigans. Wednesday, September 2nd, back-to-back days. The Pro Wrestling Symphony champion Colby Carter will be joining us. On Tuesday, September 8th, and I am very proud of this one. I make sure I give all the credit in the world to this man right here, locking in his first interview for the channel. One half of the and new Game Changer Wrestling Tag Team Champions, Sam Stackhouse, is going to be with us. Then on Thursday, September 10th, our very first Zebra, referee JC, will be joining us for some shenanigans. And then I teased an announcement for today. Let's go to that beautiful bean footage.
Hi JJ, happy birthday. This is your girl Ronnie West, and I'm here to tell you that I'm excited to join Simply Reliable Studios for some shenanigans. So, yay. Happy birthday.
A woman who I got to know as the woman who descended from heaven to raise hell, Fallen Gray, who in March of this year was ID'd and then evolved into Veronica Haven, who left the ID program at the end of July and has now rebranded herself as Ronnie West, will be joining us for some shenanigans.
I am down to join her for shenanigans. My goodness.
We saw her at some event because I remember saying, "How the hell is she gonna get in the ring with those wings?" And then she did it, and you and I just looked at each other like, "Holy shit!"
She was part of the ID showcase, and then she was part of Ladies Night Out, the show right after in Vegas.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah, I love Ronnie. She's awesome.
Yeah, I became a huge fan of hers and ironically, it was October of last year at Future of Women's Wrestling where I saw her the first time.
Oh,
And
and I got
just hearing the way she was announced, descending from heaven to raise hell, there was something about that stuck with me. I thought that was a great catchphrase, especially with the wings and everything. I'm like, yes, that. And then, sure enough, a few months later, she's ID'd.
Mhm.
Couple weeks later, we're seeing her in Vegas as an ID'd talent. Didn't last long though. End of July, she departed the WWE ID system. And we'll see where she goes, but she'll be talking to us September 15th.
I'm gonna really have to behave on the Simone one because she's gonna have an accent, and I'm a sucker for like accents. She's from Australia, for those that don't know. So,
Yeah. And we know how much Ash loves her some Aussies. So
yep, I said the same thing during the watch along yesterday. I said, "Oh my god, if Ash interviews Simone with us, she's gonna have a thing for the Australians."
and that's part of why I'm glad that it's just going to be me and Karma, because Karma's from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I know.
So like I could just imagine Walter with his Puerto Rican, coming through like, damn.
Walter's getting one step closer to get hit with a chancla.
Careful. I know Lee's in the chat. Might see that chancla come flying into the screen.
Saying.
Exactly.
Figures it's the 15th because I'll probably be back at work at that point. But when is the one with Simone?
September 1st.
Oh no, that's the last day I work before I go on leave. God damn it!
Yeah, that's a Tuesday.
Anyway, carry on. Anyway,
carry on, wayward son.
Hopefully there'll be peace when we are done.
Damn it!
But yeah,
hey, we're all showing our age again.
So all that is coming up here on the Simply Reliable branded channels.
What's my age again?
I'm messaging with a bunch of other talents trying to set up dates. The girls I spoke to last night told them that, looking to set up towards the end of September because we already pretty much got the first half booked. I don't know. I feel like a couple of them, their eyes kind of popped when they heard that because it showed that we're kind of in demand.
Yeah.
The fact that our first half of September is already booked up. Shout out again to Simone for the picture post show and for telling everybody that it was my birthday, because she knew through our communications that yesterday was my birthday. I was kind of putting it over to the fans and everybody in attendance. Shout out to Ronnie for sending me that video to promote. That's the first time we've gotten a video to promote an appearance. We usually get them to do their little show after the interview. This is the first time we've had them send one to promote an upcoming appearance. So I thought that was kind of cool.
And you got put over too, JJ.
You did. Put you over like over.
Well, I think that's part of it is like, so the way that Ronnie kind of came about is she was going to do a whatnot. And so I signed up for whatnot. And by signing up through her link, you get $25 free to be able to bid or whatever. Tech issues happened. So her whatnot ended up getting shut down. So she posted some stuff on her IG reel. And I responded to one of the things because she was trying to clear out some of her Fallen Gray stuff so she can get Ronnie West merch made. So I asked her about a couple of their shirts and she replied right back to me. And, so we're starting to correspond based off of that. And then I was like, by the way, I emailed you previously about a potential interview. So she read the email, and then we started talking about that. So everything just kind of spiraled from a botched whatnot sale because of technical difficulties. And then, setting up the date, her knowing that my birthday was this weekend, would she be willing to send a video wishing happy birthday and announce the interview? We won't announce it until then, blah, blah, blah. And such a sweetheart. For a woman who portrays herself 2001, 2002 Victoria level crazy, she really is a doll.
Hmm. And that's the thing. The thing is, like when I met Becky, and she's been this mean heel for the longest time. I look when she does her heelish things now. I just laugh because now that I've met her, it's hard to even think of her as a bad guy, or as
100%.
a man,
Jeff, you looked like you were going to say something. Go ahead.
I don't. It wasn't about Becky. It was about something else. I was gonna like.
Was it about Ronnie Fallen?
No, it was in the same vein as far as talking about Ronnie. Hopefully next weekend, even though I won't be around for the watch-alongs because I'll be working for the Mouse the day before. I don't work for the Mouse, but I will be at a venue where we'll hopefully get at least a promo, if not a full interview, with a former multi-time world heavyweight champion. I am working hard on that one, so we'll see how it pans out. But
nice.
I have a comp from the venue the venue owner for the event, and it's a matter of just interaction with the former champ. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm hoping.
Sounds good. And yeah, but to Dave's point, it's like once you get through that barrier with a heel, and especially if it's someone you see all the time, like your interaction with Becky, that may be the only time you ever get to meet her. But when you see these people, especially on like the indie level, and you kind of break through that barrier and you get to know them, they can try to be a heel all they want, but like the real person, and it's so hard. Like I'm over here making Karma break last night because I'm cheering her. Simone, I'm, the match hasn't started yet. Walter, I don't know if you heard this part. Let me know if you did. But she's kind of like walking around the ring and I'm applauding her. I'm like, kick her ass, Simone, something like that. And she's like, you're sitting there wearing a Karma shirt. And I was like, where were you during intermission? Because she wasn't out there hawking her merchandise.
I didn't hear that on TV, no.
It's like I would have bought a Simone shirt and worn it for her match because Karma's match was before intermission. I would have changed during intermission. I was like, where were you at during intermission? You weren't out here hawking your wares. That's not my problem. So. But I said that to her and she looked away and she like looked right back at me like, fuck you, that's good. I wasn't out here. Damn it. So
just like I love when when I watch when you show the highlight of Jeff with MJF, that's cool. Yeah. That's just cool.
No, you know what? That got traction this week. I was in a conversation with somebody, and it turns out it's either their friend's dad or father-in-law or something. She what she said was, so you want to have a reason to just be angry for no reason? And I went, sure, why not? And so-and-so's never seen Mary Poppins. And I typed back, ... Then I went, you know what? I have actual context to reply to this. Fucking capped out the thing that MJF sent to Josh and went, boom. And then I put it on social media. Mm-hmm. How have you motherfuckers not seen Mary Poppins? Like,
yeah.
That's my ass.
That's what makes that so great because it's like, here's MJF, the biggest in character at all times professional wrestler of the modern era.
Yes.
and he is cutting a promo with Jeff Meacham next to him.
Yeah.
A guy that he grew up watching
Yeah.
talk wrestling. No DQ archives. Check it out, folks.
Yes.
But he's cutting this promo and he's not talking about Darby Allin. He's not talking about, insert wrestler here. He does get a fuck Jay White season at the very end, but
because fuck
he's
Jay White.
cutting this promo
Yeah.
about being compared to Dave Meltzer and not having seen Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
It was the most out of pocket non-wrestling promo that you will ever see in your life.
Dude, I've been doing this shit for 25 years. That was the most random ass. Like, dude, people talk about they see people's facial expressions like just shift in a moment. When he found out that Josh had never seen Mary Poppins, his face changed color. And he went, okay, come to the back. We're doing this right. Come here. Like, we didn't even fucking hesitate. It's like, damn, that is some Disney love. I love it.
And that makes it even better. The fact that the AEW World Champion wanted to cut a promo about how this dude has never seen Mary Poppins.
As that was crazy.
It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't work.
It shouldn't be a thing. It should not be a thing.
No, I could understand somebody like that cutting a promo about how have you never seen Pulp Fiction?
Right.
How have you never seen Reservoir Dogs? How have you never seen Avengers Endgame?
Yeah.
Some monumental.
But going back to Mary Poppins,
Full Metal Jacket.
Yes.
How have you never seen Mary Poppins?
Yeah. And just flat out saying, go watch Mary Poppins and go kill yourself. Like, that's the only two options you have. You either go watch Mary Poppins or go kill yourself. Like, fuck.
And then it's fuck Jay White season.
Because fuck Jay White. That's right.
Now I'll tell you a story about Jay White because I saw my first AEW live show. As you guys probably know, last month, the Bash at the Beach Break, and I saw one of the best matches of the year with MJF and Kenny Omega, and I'm telling you, and I saw it. I'm walking in the crowd, leaving the arena, and all of a sudden, these women in front of me said something about Jay White, and then I look up and Jay White's up there.
Oh shit!
I didn't get to go up to him, but I said, "Great to see you back, Jay," and he said, "Thank you, mate."
Thank you, mate. Yes.
I said that was pretty cool, but I mean, even though it was so darn hot out there, but I thought the show was amazing, and I didn't, and I went in there and I'm thinking because I've liked AEW, I have my issues with it the last few years, but I watched it from the time it began. So I mean, as much of a WWE fan I watch AEW. I mean, I want Tony to do better, and that's why I mentioned it. But I thought the show was phenomenal, and I did it on the spur of the moment because where they were at, it was 15 minutes from where I live. So it's like,
makes sense.
What the heck? I know it's a work night. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out there. What the heck? I want to see this. So I had a great time.
It makes sense. It makes sense. So really quickly before we officially sign off, just because we've been talking about it so much, I found the clip and I uploaded it in full.
Oh fuck. We're getting ready to leave, but Max insisted that he talk.
I got to talk to Josh Mansfield real quick. Josh, you've never seen Mary Poppins? What are you, a fucking piece of shit? Grow up. And also, the Meltzer of the multiverse. Who the fuck wants to compare themselves to another? How much of a mark do you have to be? You couldn't even pick a professional athlete. You went with a fucking journalist? Grow up, man. Fuck. Watch Mary Poppins or go kill yourself.
And then watch Full Gear after that.
Absolutely. This Saturday, November 18th.
Because we're going to kill Jay White.
Yeah, it's fuck Jay White season,
Fuck Jay White season.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that guy. I love how it's go kill yourself, but then make sure you watch Full Gear after you kill yourself, because you're going to be alive after you don't watch Mary Poppins to go make sure you watch Full Gear pay-per-view. Like,
Oh, that clip was great. That's so great.
MJF is amazing. I'm gonna tell you, he's as much of an old school wrestling fan as you'll ever see,
he is
and
the fucking man.
he is the best thing on AEW, and I like watching him. I mean, I don't care if I've seen him as a face, and he was good as a face, but there's no doubt about this guy's the best heel in the business.
That's the thing, Dave. He was a baby face right there. Like he was.
I know, and he's the best heel in the business. He's
As
the
much as
best
Max
heel
can
in
be
the
a-
business.
As much as Max can be a baby face, let's be honest. But you know,
Yeah, exactly.
he was just like he first of all cuts this promo like fucking backhand complimenting me and just trashing Aaron to pieces. First off, and then, dude, I swear he was more passionate about the lack of Mary Poppins and the comparison to Meltzer than he was about digging on Aaron. It's like, well, fuck, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, you trashed Josh too. I know Josh is in our no DQ realm. So.
Love Josh in this space, but man, like
Yeah,
Josh got so much shit from all of us until he finally watched that fucking movie. Oh my god.
For real, because it's like, okay, we love Josh. Like we love messing with him.
Yes.
He's definitely little brother type vibes, but like when you sit here and you haven't seen a classic like Mary Poppins, and you're sitting here like trashing it,
yeah,
and you've never even seen it,
like, oh no,
like
oh,
bro,
no.
bro, no,
You're
no,
homer,
no.
bro.
But don't make
That's
me
like a
load that
class-
clip in here. I've still got that clip too.
I know you do.
I mean, it was made before I was born, but that was a classic I watched from the time I was little. I mean, it's a classic.
Is talking grab on a movie that you never even see.
That was the thing. It was.
This just added like an extra half hour to the end. We were shilling, and now we're fucking going out for another.
I gotta be out the door in 10 minutes. I told Jay Hard out. Now we're like, fuck. We're just gonna rehash
No,
on Mansfield crap again.
We're done. We're done. But,
Anyway, but yeah,
So-
I love it. I hope that the venue that produced that clip produces a similar opportunity when I'm there next Saturday.
uh-huh.
There's the hint for you. If you know where I was, then you know who I'm going to see. Don't know.
Uh-huh.
You can figure it out next in 2 weeks on Shenanigans when I hopefully have the clip. We'll see.
So until then, until we grace your screens next, whether it's for Simply Predicting, whether it's for our interview with Junie Underwood, whether it's for a simple session, whether it's for any of our watch long coverages, for Charles, for Dave, for Noah, for Walter, for Jeff Meacham, I am the Renegade of Wrestling, J.J. Williams, saying thank you all for joining us and tuning in tonight, and we will catch you guys next time.
But watch